Hello, my name is Ryan Schaefer, and today I'll be talking about my infographic and the design choices I made. So, first, there's a lot of visual hierarchy in this title because it's a 60 point and it's also the darkest color used on a white background. And I chose to use three different colors throughout this for the text. Um, the third color is yellow. And then there's kind of this lighter blue that I use as subtext oftentimes. Yeah, so moving on to kind of the first thing the viewer sees is a heart. So they know that there's a fact here and it has something to do with the heart. And I give the number and I use an anomaly uh, because I feel like 1 out of 4 seems less significant than saying 25%. But either way, I put both of them in there, and you can see a common alignment in the infographic is where I have an image or some piece of information, and then I have text that's left justified up against it. So, yeah. Moving on to this graphic, I used I used these small images because a lot of people don't know what these are, such as hypertension. A lot of people get that confused with ADHD. So I put a little gauge here, which basically means that the pressure in your blood vessels is too high. Um, and it's important to note that things such as high cholesterol, obesity, diabetes, hypertension all have different risk factors that feed into them. So this tree could get very large, but according to the CDC, which is my source for this whole infographic, they just listed these 5 as risk factors for coronary artery disease. And then I gave some graphs here to kind of show how the disease is progressing in the population of the United States and how likely you are to get it as you get older. Um, then with the conclusion, I'm basically trying to state that out of these risk factors, if you minimize these, it's likely that you can change the outcome. So yeah, and then with color contrast on the graphs themselves, you can see that there's a few different colors going on here because I couldn't use all of the same colors on the same graph. I figured they could have different subtypes within the graph and then between the graphs as well. I feel like these different shades of black are acceptable to use. they kind of they correspond, to their individual graphs, and they make contrast between them. The only label that you kind of have to figure out is that this is with respect to time, which I feel like most people can figure that out, hopefully. So that's actually all I have to say about the infographic.